Okay, so in this question we're given a graph and we're told a little bit of information about the graph. So there's a line here which we're told is y equals 10 minus x over 2. It cuts this point at 20, 0. That's this point here. And we're also given 2 points to x values, 2 to m, and a shaded area. And we're told that that shaded area is 8.75 square units. We're also given a number here. We know that when x is 0, this number would be 10. Okay, so we have to work out what m is, which is an unusual way to ask the question. Usually what happens is we're given the two endpoints, like 2 and some number like 5, and we have to calculate the shaded area. But this time we're given the shaded area, and we have to work out this value of m. Okay, so there's one unknown, which is m, and there's one bit of information that we've given, which is the shaded area. So it should be doable. So how do we do it? Well, the first thing I look at is that whenever you've got a graph with a shaded area, it's probably going to have an antiderivative in there, or integration, because integration, or the integral of a function, is the area under the curve. So this area here, that shaded area, is the integral from 2 to m, I don't know what m is, but of that function, 10 minus x over 2 dx. So that's what we've got to do. We've just got to figure that out. And we're going to have some m's in there because we won't be able to figure it out exactly until the end. But we do know what this value on this side is, 8.75. So integrate that. Okay. So integral of 10 is 10x. The integral of x over 2 is x squared over 4. Okay, and we're going from 2 to m. So x squared over 4, is that right? Because if I differentiate x squared, I get 2x. And then 2x over 4 is x over 2. Yep, so that's right. Now you could have a plus c in there, but we don't need it because whenever we're working out definite integrals, the c is going to cancel out. Okay, definite integrals where you've got the two endpoints. Okay, and then we just do the maths. So 10m, substitute the m in there first. And then substitute the 2 in there, so we get 20 minus 2 squared over 4 is 1. Okay, so equals 10m, take m squared over 4 minus 19 equals 8.75. Okay, so now what are we going to do? Multiply everything through by 4. Actually, we'll bring the 19 over to the other side first. So 27.75 equals 10m, subtract m squared over 4. Let's multiply everything by 4 to get rid of that 4 in the fraction. So we're going to get 27.75 over 4. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, I've got 28 times 4 is 56 times 2, which equals 112. Therefore, 27.75 times 4 must equal 111. Okay, so 111 equals, what have we got here? 40m, subtract m squared. Let's bring everything over to one side. Let's bring the m squared to the left-hand side. So we get m squared, take 40m. Let's bring the 40m over to the other side as well. Leave the plus 111 on that side equals 0. Okay, now we have to solve that quadratic equation. Pretty easy to do with the calculator, but pretty easy to do even without. 111, does it have any factors? Well, just by looking at it, I can see that the digits add up to 3, and I know that any number where the digits add up to 3, 6, or 9 is divisible by 3. So that's 3 times, what is that? 111 equals 3 times 37, which is nice because 3 and 37 add up to 40, so we're kind of nowhere on the right track. So m times minus 3 times m minus 37 equals 0, which means that m equals 3 or m equals 37. Okay, and by looking at the graph here, we know that the value of m has to be less than 20 because we're told that it's a smaller number than 37, so we can eliminate that. Therefore, the answer is m equals 3. Okay, can we check that answer? Well, yeah, probably. If I was going to do a rough check, if I had time to do a rough check, I'd go, okay, we're saying it's now 2 and 3. I know the function is 10 minus x over 2. So at 2, 2 over 2 is 1, so that's 9. And at 3, it's 8.5. So I would say, okay, this rectangle here is 1 times 8.5, so that's 8.5. The big rectangle here is 1 times 9, which is 9. and we know the area that we were told originally is 8.75, so it's between 8.5 and 9. So I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure, that m equals 3 is the right answer. Okay, now just as an aside, you don't have to know this or understand it, but what about m equals 37? We know we got rid of it because we were told that the function cuts the line at 20, and we can see by inspection that that value is 3. But what about m equals 37? So there's this number right here, 37. Well, how did it come up with that? Well, actually, that could be right, because if we were to extend that line further, what we'd get is we're going from 2 to m, we get all that area there, and all this area here, but remember this area here is negative, this area here is positive. It's quite possible, in fact it will probably turn out to be right, that when we add those two together, so that minus that, you'd end up with the 8.75. So that's how we got that as a possible other answer.